Hi guys, welcome. Thank you so much for actually joining us on a Wednesday evening. My name is Jonah. This is where we'll be actually speaking casually to some of the leaders in property, investments, and also business. So today, I'm really glad to have Bobby Ang, automotive journalist, founder, and chief editor-in-chief of Aurizn Malaysia. Bobby is also better known for his YouTube channel where he actually reviews cars and gives his honest opinion on them. And what I love Bobby, right, is his honest and straight to the point opinions on things, and also his sense of humor and how he puts car language into something that is simple to understand, and even the older folks can actually follow, right? So besides his passion for cars, I also love Bobby's philosophy on life and how he actually runs his company, because he walks the talk and the people who actually join him, right, have the same kind of values. So initially I was very intimidated to speak to Bobby, but I'm really glad that Bobby actually said yes to come on to the show. So welcome, Bobby. Thank you so much for actually coming on in. Do tell us a little bit about yourself and how you actually started off having a passion in cars.
Oh, hi. Um, I don't know when it started, man. I love cars since I was a kid, and and yeah, I just love cars since I was like a toddler. I remember my parents telling me that the only toys I wanted are cars, little cars, and it has just been about cars. And primary school, uh, whenever teacher asks us to draw anything, I'll be like, oh yes, I'm gonna draw a car. So my childhood dream was to grow up designing cars. Actually, that was my childhood dream. And then I don't know why I have a passion for advertisements as well, because I read a lot of magazines since I was a kid, and since I started earning money, I subscribe to Times, Forbes, Fortune, Discovery, National Geography, whatever that I can subscribe to, Newsweek and all that. And whenever there are great advertisements, I will peel them off and
Yep.
keep them.
Mhm.
And little did I know I would be doing these two things, my passion or
Was there
I'm
somebody influential? Was there somebody influential who actually influenced you to come into the car world, or like maybe a father or maybe a brother or friend that actually influenced you to be in this industry, or actually have a passion for cars for that matter?
um, okay. Growing up, the older I get, the more I realize that my grades aren't gonna get me anywhere, lah. Huh? So in primary school, I was smart. I don't need to study, and I always score in exams. Even the school will send me for mathematics competition and stuff like that. Drawing competition, I'm really good in drawing. Then I went into a Chinese independent school called Zhonghua Independent,
Mhm.
and from there, yeah, it's a slippery slope down lah. Basically, it's like suddenly because there's a mismatch. When we go into Zhonghua Independent, right? Suddenly we have to study Malaysian syllabus and China syllabus both
Yep.
together. And their mathematics for Form 1 is like Form 5 for for Malaysian schools. In Form 1, we don't have mathematics class in Zhonghua. There's only algebra class is one subject.
Mm.
Set is one subject. Trigonometry is one subject, and add maths in Form 1 as one subject.
Wow.
So yeah, I just went like boom. Then I lost interest in learning, bonding, smoking, snooker center, and all that. Yeah, so it was so I was like, no lah, that not gonna be that. Then of course I read a lot of car magazines, and I thought like, wow, it would be nice if I can work in this line. But then realizing that I'm from a Chinese school, my writing standards aren't like the perfect English and all that. I don't think I'll get hired by magazines in Malaysia like Top Gear,
Mm.
Evo and Autocar and all that. So I started my own. So I started my own publication called Wheels Weekly, And from there, it turned into a magazine, rebranded to Live Life Drive. Then started a website. It was actually the first car buying guide in Malaysia. You know, the type where you can have a database where you generate Toyota Camry versus Honda Accord, and then that's all the listing, pictures, everything. It was the first database-driven like car buying guide, and little did we realize it's a startup, and then it's our tech startup. Then within a year, we became the number 2 website in Malaysia, car website. We were right behind Botan in 1 year, and without knowing how to do all the like buy traffic and all that nonsense, or advertising and all that. We just grow like that. Then we were bought over by the Catcha Group, which runs iProperty. Then our startup was bought up, and then we had a binding contract in Carlist that we had to build Carlist up. You know, the time Carlist was nothing. It wasn't like what you guys know. It was a much smaller website than Live Life Drive even. Just that, but they wanted to build on the name. So everything that is in Live Life Drive has to be, pulled over to Carlist and all that. Then my job as the head of content will have to build the site up. And when my contract was up, I resigned, and then they asked me to stay for another year. Then I stayed for another year. Then I resigned again. Then they asked me to stay for another 6 months. Then I said, okay, I'll stay for the last 6 months, but I want to report to Fan, which was like a reverse of role. I said basically, yeah. So I said I want to report to her. I don't want to go into C-level meetings. I don't want to go into management board or the high-level meetings. I just want to be out there doing my stuff. Then after that, I came out and did Aurizn. And at first we still print magazines because I took over the UK franchise Evo. Only for the magazine. It's only for the magazine. They offered me that, like they say that if I take the magazine license, they will give me website as well. But I don't want their website. I just told them that your website is dated and is useless for me. So I have my own, which luckily, because the site that Malaysia had was Malaysian Evo. And then I registered my own domain called Evo Malaysia, which was separate from the magazine. But because I licensed their content, I can publish their contents over on my website. So that time I was still publishing magazines. My interest, my passion is still in there. Beautiful photography, layout, publishing design, designing fonts, kernings, and all that to make it look good. So that was my passion. But I realized that people really no longer read magazines. And it's a sunset business, so I had to transition. And then I realized that, hey, even when I buy cars, I don't read magazines anymore. Or when I wanted to buy a certain car, it is no longer published in any magazine that was available out there, because whatever they publish, you can't index old stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, shit, everybody's watching YouTube videos when they want to buy cars. And when I started, right, everybody actually told me, Bobby, don't do YouTube car review videos that are more than 15 minutes. It's too long. But when I want to buy my car, at the time I wanted to buy the Audi S4, right? S4 Avant.
Yeah, Avant.
I was so frustrated with all the videos on YouTube, 3-minute videos, 4-minute videos, 5-minute videos. Then I was like, what are these people doing? They are making videos short because they were afraid that others don't want to watch it. But when I want to buy a car, I would watch every freaking video that I can find.
Correct.
I end up watching Russian videos about S4, which I don't understand the thing that they are saying. But because I wanted to buy that car, I would exhaust everything that I can find on the internet to make sure I understand what I'm buying. So from that understanding onwards, I just don't care about what other people say. So I'm like the first one who don't care about the length of the video. I just record whatever I can find on the car, because to me, that is for the person who wanted to buy the car. I
Correct.
don't care whether people want to watch it or not, or people find that it's too long, or my videos will get a lower view because it's too long. It's a very, very, you can say I'm stubborn or what, but I just think that someone who wants to buy the car wants to know everything about it. So every video that I do, I try my best to cover every single thing that I can find in the cars. That's why the videos were like 38 minutes, 42 minutes, and I don't care. I don't care about the length. I just upload the whole freaking thing there.
But
And
what I see, Bobby, sorry to cut you there.
yes,
What I see is
yeah,
you actually have the audience in mind. Like you actually, like how the videos that I see you do, right? It is basically like explaining to your friend about the car. You're actually talking to your friend about the car. What is it like to from your own perspective, kind of thing.
yeah.
So I think that's pretty special, what you're actually doing. And it's none when I was doing when I was watching some car reviews, no one is as in depth as yourself. People actually appreciate the long form kind of thing. And yeah, so besides that, right? For sure,
Mm.
there you have your fair share of haters, and maybe you can actually share with us, like how do you actually overcome some of them. Some of them can be quite brutal, I can imagine. So how did you get over it?
You mean haters on YouTube
Trolls,
comments,
haters on
or
YouTube, yes, like
those I
online
don't care.
thing.
The
Yep.
the the comments on YouTube, I I I I don't give a damn lah, to be honest. But what I felt frustrating at first was industry peers that when they you see the funny thing is this it's just maybe it's humans it's like everybody is in this industry, and then in this industry you have a few taikos,
Yep.
like big boys, big shots. So that time I was in Carlis. Carlis is one of the big boys. So so everybody was like, oh, the big boys are here, even the car makers and all that. So when I left Carlis and started my own, there is a huge disparity in how I was treated at first. All right, be it from car makers or PR agencies or whatnot. And as for peers, they are a bit like, oh, so you're doing this? Oh, okay, good. Good luck. But in their mind it's like, now you're small already lah. See you so lancy or not, and then within a short period of time, when the trajectory just went back up like that, and you manage to squeeze yourself back into, that little circle up there, that's when a lot will try to pull you back down. And one of the things that I experienced that at first frustrate me a lot is there are industry peers who go around to tell them something that Bobby said about them, which I did not.
Putting words in your mouth.
Yes, and made them being antagonistic about me without me knowing it.
Yeah.
So I started noticing, why this guy who or girl who used to be okay with me suddenly don't want to talk to me, suddenly try to slip me out from their event invites, because their bosses wouldn't know. They have the invite list of like 40 people, and pulling me out to make me irrelevant is a very simple thing for them to do. At first I was very frustrated and was trying to find out who, why, how. Then the funny thing is, while we were doing that, my team were all, I had a great team. I have to say, I'm working with a bunch of really, really great people. And we have so many ideas and projects in our head, that I got too busy doing all this, that I don't have time for that anymore. And I sort of forget about who like me or who don't like me. And then we just focus on what we're doing. And then we launched Estate, ID, Karat, turn it Aurizn, then launched Evo Club, did Evo Enduro, and then we had this thing that we want to launch our car insurance, and basically everything that we're doing, right, it's just from the core of my mind is that I want to help people when they want to buy a car. It starts from there, and I want to share the joy of owning a car, not just to go to work, but to see places, to go places with people, create memories, make our life worth living, doing all these things that we do. And then I also noticed that there are a lot of people out there who are like me, who wants to they wanted to buy a used BMW or a used Mercedes-Benz, but they never dared to, and they hear all this horror story, which I know wasn't true. At first, we try to encourage people, don't worry, don't worry. Then I was like, hey, every day we say don't worry. Is there something that we can do? Right? So we partnered up one workshop in 2018. We partnered up with them. They became our clubhouse. And then we tell people that if you're around Klang Valley area, you want to buy a used car, bring it over here. They will do inspection for you before you buy.
I remember it was Burns, was it? Was it Burns?
Yes. And it relieved a lot of people's anxiety when they want to, and we educate people this thing. Don't just buy a used car just like that. You can inspect it before you buy. If they don't allow you to inspect it, don't buy it. This sort of, we try to educate as many people about this. I think this thing is very prevalent out there now. People sort of knowingly have this concept of, I'm buying a used car, I need to inspect it first. If it doesn't pass the inspection, I'm not buying it. Then I go further and thinking, how can we have an extended warranty that helps them, where after they bought a used car, they can get an extended warranty to extend their warranty, so they have the peace of mind, So all these things are not profit generating per se when it was first conceived. It was really something that we want to do to help people and to help car guys. I mean, because I love cars so much, right? And from there on, just I don't care about who hates me anymore. I don't.
Correct.
Don't really
So basically,
care.
Bobby, I see I see you are actually carving your own way instead of following the norm, right? You are very opinionated and you're very stern. You're very firm with what you believe in. If you don't believe in something, you don't go with the norm, and you will actually question and try to make it better, right? Is that correct?
I think it's not a conscious decision. It's more like my character, I'm a bit like that lah. So some people cannot take one thing that is my character. I don't mind someone not liking me. I really don't mind. And this irks a lot of people. Like this guy would have openly attacked me on Facebook the night before, and then the next day at Sepang, at the smoking area, he couldn't light his cigarette. I will walk up to him and help him light it, And to them, it's like, wow, this guy really this Bobby is evil, man. He can do this, means he's up to something. But for me, is I cannot force you to like me. Why should you like me? You don't like me is your thing. I don't like you back.
That's true.
Yeah. So
anyways, cool. So Bobby, just before we go into the topic of the day, right? I do have a question I want to ask you. Like, out of all the cars you actually own, I believe like you have owned like more than 10 cars, over so many years. What are the cars that you regret actually owning, and what were the cars that you actually regret selling? Maybe you can share with our audience here.
Regret owning.
Yeah. Regret owning.
Do I have one that I regretted? No. No. Yeah.
Never regretted. But regretted selling confirm got, right? Many are. Or all.
Regretted selling also. sometimes sometimes there's a time frame where you need to part with them lah.
Kok Yuan
I
says
would
your
say
XT90, or is it true?
XC90 is not a regret lah. XC90 is a very okay. That's a car. I wouldn't term it as regret, but it's something that I really like driving it every day, sitting in it every day, and really happy owning it. It was the first and ever only new car that I bought, and I had to sell it because if I don't sell it, I wouldn't be able to afford the Aston Martin that I chanced upon, and I was trying my luck to get the Aston Martin. I do not know whether I could, but I was trying it, and eventually I did. And so, if you're saying about regret, I would say I regret the way I sold the S4, the S4 Avant. The way it was being sold is one that I regretted. It could have went to one of the communities that I still meet here, that I get to talk to and see the car still. But I was like, I don't know why I was doing it like that. I was just telling the Aston dealer to you just take it in lah. You know, so it was it was the only car that was sold without me knowing who's the owner.
I see.
All this while, the cars that I sold were like my friends who say, hey, bro, sell it to me, bro. Then I do up the car nicely, you know, and all that, and then pass it to him. There's a proper goodbye and hi to the next owner. You know, it's all this while when I sell my cars, right? Like I would service up the car really well, fill it up with a full tank of V-Power Racing, and I would spend money to do it up nicely to hand it to the next owner. It's a bit like marrying your daughter out, you know, like you put her in class and all that. So all this while I sold my car for that, but not the S4. And
I see. Awesome. So just now you actually mentioned that you had to sell your XC90 to get your Aston Martin. So to our audience here, if you guys do not know, Bobby actually owns an Aston Martin. It's a Rapide S, right?
Yeah.
So let us know about the thought process behind it. Like, how did you chance upon it? What actually caught your eye? Why was it a mass purchase for you? Why did you sell two cars just to buy one? And was it actually a worthwhile investment buying such a car that is actually brand new, worth about 1.8 million, right? 1.8 million ringgit. Brand new.
Close to 2 when you spec it up, it's closer to 2.
Yeah. So maybe you can share with us the thought process.
Why? Okay. I've always been really fascinated with owning a 4-door supercar. This whole fascination came about from the Porsche Panamera. Like, everybody hated the first Panamera, but I wrote so many articles defending the Panamera. I remember back in 2009 when the Panamera came out, everybody was attacking it for how ugly it is, right? I wrote one of the articles I said that anybody in UK with a barn shed behind their house can build a Lotus, right? But you can give Hyundai any amount of billion, they wouldn't be able to create a Panamera. You know, for a 2-ton car to handle like that, balancing comfort and all that. So I was always fascinated with this. Then the Rapide that time wasn't in my crosshairs. Of course, it's damn expensive. And these type of supercars, they usually only go below 500,000 when they are no longer available for loan. That means 10 years and above. They will only go below 500K when it's 10 years old and above. So it was never something that mere mortals like us would say, oh, it's something we want to aim, because we know we couldn't be able to afford it, you know. So I never aimed for it. But after I drove it back in 2016, I was like, damn, this car drives and sounds like a dream. And the way it was finished is amazing. It was like, damn, I want this, you know. But of course, never thought is ever near something that I can get my hands on. So when I saw this one listed for sale, which is a 2015 car, that means the car is only 5 years old, and it is listed at 590,000. I was like, shit! I just got my XC90, you know. Is it possible that if I let go of the XC90, my BMW and all that, and get this car, will I be able to get it? You know, because it sounds impossible, but let's go try. So try I did, and managed to nego the price down to 520, and then on the road is 550, and then I tried my loan. All the banks rejected me except Maybank. Thank you, Maybank. Thank you. And and you know what? I bought it in early last year, and towards the end of last year, another person bought a Repeat S, which is only 1 year younger than mine, for 980,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So just imagine that I got a superb deal, and yeah, it was unbelievable. When I look at the car, I was like, wow, is that something that someone like me, who doesn't know investment, don't know how to play golf, cannot read a wine menu, you know, I don't know all the atas thing, but I just like cars. Is this and this is my only watch. I only have a Casio. That's it. Yeah. So I always tell people I'm a Kuchai boy. I'm not the kind that goes to your atas event, caviar and all that stuff. So I don't know none of those things. So yeah.
But your passion actually flows through, man. Like the how you actually explain, how you actually talk about your cars, it is next level. Not many people can actually say the same thing about yourself. When you actually own that car, every time when you actually see your car in the morning, right, maybe your heart skips a bit, right? Like us, when the car actually drives in, it has that kind of presence that no other car or no other vehicle on the road can actually bring, right? And that kind of joy, I believe, it is very special to you. Would that be fair to say?
I don't know how other people see it. I don't really care, but sometimes I was like unknowingly, you know, I would just drive the car and go to buy grocery, buy bread, you know, do tapa wanton min, you know, I do all that, I do that kind of stuff. Like, but sometimes if I take a step back and it's like, people will be like, hey, what the hell this guy, you know, show off, you know. But for me, it's just that's the car I own. I just drive it lah, you know.
Correct.
And yeah. So it's just that, and you can tell I'm someone who rarely dress up for the occasion lah. You know, I don't even comb my hair. So yeah.
Interesting. All right. So coming back to our topic for today, right? Investing and are cars actually considered an investment? I think this is a very controversial topic to many. In the investment world, right, people will actually deem investment as something that actually yields positive returns, and you know, cars to most of people it's a depreciating asset. And you know, maybe you can share what's your take on this.
Wait, Jonah, am I lagging?
A little bit, but it's fine. It's fine. How about the rest, the audience? Can you guys actually see Bobby lagging? Is Bobby lagging? Because I see it's fine. Maybe you guys can actually comment in the comments below. Let me know whether Bobby's lagging or I'm lagging, or is the line okay or not.
I think I'm lagging. Let me see. Let me see what's the response. Okay.
Ian said fine. All good.
All right. If I'm lagging, let me know.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
Okay. I don't think cars can be. I I don't. Okay, let's not even talk about investment. I don't even think cars is an asset. Right? It is not an asset. It is. I mean, you wouldn't call your pair of shoes your asset, right?
No,
In a
quite,
way, right?
no,
You
no.
you
It's a
use
tool.
your shoes. They bring
It's a
you to
tool.
places,
Yeah.
and the value of your shoe is not how much it can fetch later on. What it was supposed to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is a tool. It is a tool. Sorry, man, I'm really lagging here. Can I change to my?
Yeah, sure.
I've done
Take your
that
time,
multiple
man.
times.
It's fine.
I'll try to change to my. Am I lagging?
A
Wait,
little
wait,
bit. You
wait.
you might want to change your internet. By the way, guys, if you actually have a question for Bobby, right? Do type it in the comments below so we can actually help answer or on behalf of yourself. And if you're actually enjoying the session, do hit the thumbs up, give us the like button, give us the thumb up button. Share this to your friends and family if they're thinking of actually buying a car or they don't believe in cars. If they think cars are just a waste of money, make sure that they actually tune into this session and hear Bobby actually talk about cars and how passionate he is. So Bobby, back to you, man. Yep.
All right. Yeah. I was saying. Yeah, cars are tools, and you use them, and the value is in how you use them, and the experience they gave you. I think it's unfair to cars to talk about them as an asset. But the problem would be the method of us buying cars as predetermined by how the car industry structures their business. Then that would result in this scenario whereby people always compare, oh, are cars an investment solely because the banks are in the picture, right?
Yeah.
So I have this analogy. Let's say telcos don't sell you the plan the way they sell it to you now. Let's say you go to Maxis, and then Maxis will tell you, all right, what's the number you choose? All right, you want 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a very nice number. It costs you 250,000 ringgit for you to use it until you die. And then for you, it would be like, okay, this is worth buying. I like this number, 250,000. I apply a loan. Then you apply a 250,000 loan from Maybank. Maybank give you the 250,000 loan. They charge you at 4% interest. And then you are using your number until you're not satisfied with Maxis, the service from Maxis. A few years later, you want to sell your number. Right? A few years later, when you want to sell your number, you notice that now they have a new kind of number strings and your number is only worth 70,000, but you still owe the bank 150,000. Then you will felt that Maxis numbers resale value is very bad, right?
Okay.
But how they sell it to you now that they charge you every month and you just pay for the usage, right? So I think the car industry, if they move towards this direction, whereby you subscribe a car and then you can subscribe a brand new one for a higher monthly cost, and then a few years later you trade it back, and then you can subscribe to another one, or another person can subscribe to an older one at a lower cost, and then pull the banks out of the whole equation. And the manufacturers don't have to keep producing cars like they do now, and instead they have a fleet of cars that becomes their asset. Just like Maxis, the numbers are their assets.
Yep.
Right? They don't need to keep generating new numbers because they sold old ones, they recycle them. So I think it's how the purchase method resulted in this argument happening. Yeah.
Funny that you mentioned, because some countries overseas, right? I think in the Scandinavian countries, they're actually going with this rental model of owning cars.
They call it
You
leasing
don't
business,
outright
right?
own. Leasing business, correct. And you lease it from the manufacturer. You don't lease it from a third party. You're actually leasing it from the manufacturer. And after a couple of years, you get to change your car, and that's how it works overseas.
Because currently, right, the whole equation from a car maker producing a car to end consumer buying the car, right? The car maker only makes a profit of 3 to 4%.
Wow.
they only earn 3 to 4% as a car maker. And the banks, they earn 4% a year.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
So the whole equation of you delivering something that I need is the middleman, the bankers, that are taking the largest chunk of profit of this equation. And yeah, that's how I see it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So like people see as just a tool, you know. Some people see cars as just a tool, tools of transport. How do you see yours? Because you mentioned that you're super passionate. You actually bought yourself an Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Like you see you got to have it, right? And some people see it as just a car, right? What should people actually buy based on emotion or based on the resale value if they're not so much into cars? What's your opinion on this?
I understand people who are not into cars. You know, if they're not into cars, they just want to maximize the utility of it. It's like me. I mean, I admire watches, but I use my Casio. I use it like crazy. I love I there's one watch that I really love. It's called the Rolex Milgauss. I love it since in my college days, and that was the time, like I think 5 or 6 years back, I was offered a Milgauss for less than 20,000 from a dealer, and at the time I can afford it, but I did not buy it. And last I heard, they are worth 60,000 now.
Correct. Yeah.
So yeah. If I bought that, I'm not sure if I would take care of it like how other people would take care of it. I would just use it like how I use this watch, which I think wouldn't be the best way. So in terms of whether cars are tools or not, I understand people who sees cars as tools, but for me and people like me, we actually see them the same way someone would see spending 30,000 to a Europe trip, right? You aren't gonna get any resale value out of it.
No, you're buying
Right?
experience.
Yes, you're buying the experience. You are doing it for something you yearn, you wanted to. And I always felt that people who only talk about investment, you know, calculating the dollars and cents, forget one thing. We are not living an infinite life. Our life is finite, you know.
Finite.
So when you are 30 years old, when you can barely almost afford a 3 Series, and then you calculated and hey, I think I can buy it, but you purposely hold yourself off, thinking that next time when I'm more comfortable, I will buy it easier, you know. And then when your next time arrives, when you're 45 years old, you realize you no longer like the 3 Series. You're looking at the 5 Series.
Yeah.
And then it became something that you never did, but you no longer have the chance to do it. You know? So for me is that I really think that whatever we think we like, we want to, I mean, don't do drugs lah. Don't dump your fortune into Uncle Lim's stable lah. But if these are the things that you want to pursue, right, then go for it, because you wouldn't know next week you catch COVID and die, right? So yeah.
Interesting analogy. And Kevin here as each have a question. So for a daily driving car, it can be a tool. But what about vintage and classics? Are they, in your opinion, are they considered investments?
I mean, of course, if you have the means to collect and preserve them, then of course. I mean, you can walk into every single car showroom now, take a brochure, keep it somewhere dry and nice, and keep it for 40, 50 years. And when your kids grow up, or when they're older, right, it's an investment, because what is worthless now, the brochure of a Vios or the brochure of a Peugeot or whatnot, it doesn't need to be luxury cars. which are available for you to take from the car showrooms, right? You can just take as many as you want and keep them in some place really nice. 30 years later, you can sell each for £100 online. You know, they're worth a lot. Anything that you have the means to keep and preserve will become an investment as time goes on. So yeah, of course they are. Yeah.
How about other things that you invest in? Are you invest like I believe later on we will actually talk about your career and you know the hardships that you actually went through. A lot of people think like, oh, Bobby do YouTube millionaire already, but actually it's far from the truth lah. Huh? Yeah, Bobby actually went through a lot before Aurizn actually came about. A lot of people don't know your backstory. Maybe we'll talk a bit about your backstory just before we go there. Maybe anything else you are actually invested in right now? Are you invested in like crypto, stocks lah, or you just invested in yourself, in your own business and trying to grow your business as much as possible?
I have very little concept about money. Okay, it's something that I really regret at this age, and I do not know how to see. I read a lot, and let's say last year when the oil index was like negative, right?
Yeah.
To me, I was like, shit, man. If I have an account and I know how to buy this, I will wallop them now. But I don't. I don't even have. I don't know how to do it. It's something I told myself this year that I really want to learn, but eventually I didn't get to. So probably become my next year's goal. I want to learn how to actually have a dashboard, a tool that I can know what I'm doing, to buy what I need to buy and to sell what I need to sell. Because most of the time I know what's going on around the world. It's just that I never get to do it. And I'm someone who, if you tell me that, hey, bro, there's opportunity to do this and you can earn a lot of money, and if it is not something that I like cars or whatever, right, I just don't have the urge to do it. Yeah. I just can earn money, okay, but I have enough food, I can pay for my cars, no, why go and do something I'm like that one. So I'm yeah, I don't know how to explain this.
Different. I think
I want to. Okay, I want to. I'm not against this whole thing. I want to learn all this, what crypto shit lah, meta lah, whatnot lah. I want to learn all this, but because it's something that I'm not passionate in, right? The moment I fire up all the website, I want to start reading and learning, right? I fell asleep and then I just go sleep. You know? That's my problem. That's my problem. Yeah, I wanted to learn this. Yeah.
But Bobby, from outsider's perspective, what we actually see you doing very well is how you manage people and how you actually run your business. Like from the get-go, right? That's why I wanted to talk a bit about your backstory. What was the most difficult part in terms of your career, and then after that you took the leap of faith to actually start off your own business, right? Maybe you can actually share with our audience here a little bit about, like, you know, what actually went through your mind during the most difficult time in your life back then.
It's only a look back that you realize and understand that was categorized as difficult, because at that time, right, I don't know how to explain this, but when you are 100% in focus in wanting to just complete that thing, right, you never really take a step back and look at your situation and felt that, oh, it's so difficult, you know. So at that time, we were dumb lah, we were stupid lah. I was never in the publishing business. I don't know anything about running a magazine. I just told myself I want to start a magazine business, you know, and just went and looked for printers and all that. Then only realized from the printer that I need a license to print magazines. Then figure out where to get a license and then go and apply the license, and then all this stupid stuff that if I were to be in the industry, it would have cut short a lot. Then we finished up our money, and I was telling my colleagues that we shouldn't ask for any advertising before we have readers. You know, yeah, we should deliver our value first. Then we go out there and ask for ads. And
How
this
long ago was this, Bobby? Quickly.
2008.
2008. All right.
Yeah. So with this passion, we managed to run out of money in less than 6 months.
Oops.
So, and it was a time that was constantly thinking because yeah, it was a struggle. 2008 we started. I haven't started struggling yet. 2008 we started planning the whole thing, blah blah and all that. Then we really go full time in 2009, and then in 2010, and yeah, that was when I realized one day that shit, I'm only left with 2K in my bank, 2K in the company's bank after I pay my partners, because they are salary workers who believe my story and join me. And then they were still in that kind of mindset whereby, hey, month end already, where's the salary? Even though they're my partners. So I have to figure a way to pay everybody. And there was a point where we don't have pay. Then there was also a point whereby I went around doing odd jobs in the daytime, and then nighttime go back to office to finish up the magazine, and then get it printed and all that. And that was really difficult that time, because we had no money, and one person finishing 160 or 180 pages of magazine is from scratch is unheard of. Because I'm the person who take pictures. I'm the art director. I mean, I have a partner who's the art director, but I'm the guy who always like, oh, we do this, the text put here, turn this image like that, this one put upside down. I'm the guy who makes everybody go home late, and I have to manage the accounts, the billing, and the proposals for advertisements, and I have to write the magazine.
One leg kick all, basically.
Yeah, we didn't franchise any content, and we have to attend events, attend test drives, and that was crazy. So it's the time where I had to shower like 5-6 times a day, because by 1 a.m., 2 a.m. when I'm really sleepy, I go take a shower, and it's cold water shower, so it wakes you up. Then you continue write your stuff, and then by about 3 a.m. another shower, 4 a.m. another shower, 5 a.m. another shower, just to keep yourself awake to continue the work. And it was like this for 3 years, 3+
what
years.
What actually fueled your passion and not call it quits?
No, didn't think about it, or really did not think about it. This. Okay. There was one time when I was so frustrated that your question reminded me this. I was at a mamak with a friend of mine. He's also a developer. He's my schoolmate, and I was telling you, because at the time when we're doing our own business, our pay is only 3K each of us, equal. We take 3,000 ringgit.
Okay.
Then I was telling my friend that, I could have quit my business and then go get a job. I think I can easily get a salary of 8,000. So my friend, who's a developer, looked me in the eye, and then he said, Bobby, you look around you, all the Corolla and Civic and Camry and all this that you guys define as normal lousy cars, they earn more than 8K a month. Do you realize that? Do you realize how insignificant this salary is if you think this is your goal to quit your business? Yeah. That time when he said this, I felt a bit offended. At that moment, I felt humiliated and a bit rather embarrassed of myself. and yeah, I still remember that lah. And yeah.
Very, very interesting. Very interesting perspective how you actually put where you actually come from and the hardship you actually went through. It's not easy. It's
To be honest, Jonah, I don't think I went through like crazy hardship compared to a lot out there. It's really nothing much, because I don't know how to put it. I just felt that okay, what? It's not like I sleep under a bridge or something, right?
Yeah, you always looking on the positive thing, positive side of things, and that's what I admire about you, man. You slog on, and because of the passion of what you do, you actually soldier on. So, say you were to do it all over again, right? What would you do differently, Bobby?
I mean, I did all over again in 2015 when I came out and started Aurizn, right? So when we sold off our first startup, right, the there was a very prevalent saying that, oh, you guys are lucky, you guys are very lucky. Wow, lucky lah you. So that time I was like, yeah, I think I'm lucky. Then I was tasked to build up Carlis, right, with the team in there. Of course, Carlis that time it was a listed company. There were so many amazing people in there, right? A lot of talented people. But nevertheless, if we're able to make it grow within a short period of time, that's also something that we're proud of, lah. That was round 2. But of course, people will say that, hey, listed company, so much cash, you all can do what you want, lah. So that's also another way of like, oh yeah, maybe it's listed company, a lot of cash, yeah. So round 3 was when I came out from Carlis, right? Came out from Carlis and again on my own, have to start my own thing. This was when the real test begins, because whether I do it or not, whether I succeed or not, or able to build it up or not, is no longer having a listed company behind. It's not like it's luck, some big company pump money to us and all that anymore.
Correct.
It's about really starting from scratch again. And I did reflect upon it. I realized I was a lot wiser than last time. I did not not seek for ads at the first edition. So from the first month, we were profitable. So from 2016 January until now, we were profitable. But there was downtime, which was serious, which is in last year when COVID hit the lockdown, because we always expect like November, December, January, February to not have much ad revenues. All the big bosses all fly overseas. There's nothing much to advertise. All the promos that need to be done has done, and all the budgets for the whole year has been used up. There's not much stuff to ask for anymore, where the activities will bump back up March, April, May, June, July,
Correct.
So, but last year that did not happen, right? And that was right after I did the whole car buying shit, I sold my cars, got an Aston, stumbled upon an RS6 and I bought that as well, So January I did this whole thing, and then March came the lockdown with no revenue. And last year, first half of the year, me and my wife actually we emptied out our savings actually. So it was funny. So early last year, I was someone with the keys to an Aston with no money in the bank. I mean, we still have buildings stuff going on, but that time the cash flow was like this. Of course, I did my own calculation. I was like, okay, we need to tahan until July,
Yeah.
So and I pulled another passionate thing. I told the whole team, we're not gonna do any pay cut You know, we won't do any pay cut at all. Let's work hard. But when I said that, right, I said that with a rather empty, like I felt like I'm not stepping on solid ground, you know, because when I told that to the whole team, right, we haven't got any contract signed for like year 2020. There was 0 contracts, and I told that to the team, and then everybody was like, you know, fuck this shit, let's do it. And then somehow we were like daily Zoom session, and then calling up clients, proposing shit and all that. And then the first deal came in June. No. The first deal came in May during the pandemic, during the lockdown. You know, there was stuff coming in. You know, at first everybody was a mess, right? Then from there, we started to get the hang of it. You know, of meeting clients. I wasn't someone who liked teleconferencing back then, and we were doing it daily. And from there on, it just sort of grew and continue on over there. And then by year end, we were healthy. By last year end, we were sort of healthy, and we basically, of course, we recouped some that us personally loan the money to the company.
Correct.
You know, from our own private, you know, our own savings dumped back to the company and all that. So yeah, that was how last year went. And then this year we went into lockdown a lot wiser as well, you know. So it affected us. Our revenue actually was down like 50% down compared to 2019. You know, but so far okay lah. You know, to me every day I was like, my kids are here, you know, my cars are there, you know, my team members are around, you know, and great friends are still around. Okay lah. So far.
Do you? Seems like you have a very supportive wife, or Bobby. Do you think it's part of the whole equation, part of your success, that you are actually where you are today because of her and the team? And
she's actually my business partner. She, you know, back then, back in 2010, 2011, when we don't have, you know, or 12, when we don't have that many staff, right? My wife was the one who joined me. You know, she drive one car, I drive one car. We go to Putrajaya 2 a.m. and do photo shoots there.
Wow.
And and then and then we go out together. She went to this client to collect check. I went to that client to do things. She was my business partner ever since we married, and we've been hustling together. Both of us were in Carlis, and then when we came out and then started Aurizn, she's also my business partner. She was handling HR, admin, accounts, everything. While I'm out there like that, she's my business partner, and the one thing that I have to thank her also lah. She's really someone that how do I put it? I tell people also don't believe, and we don't quarrel. There's nothing to quarrel.
Wow.
Yeah, we may have different opinion sometimes, but then we like that. Okay, like that. And then there wasn't a time where we were in like you know what people would term as fighting, right?
Yeah, correct.
Like wow, disagree, then heighten your voice and then shout and then what that, and then 2 days don't talk to one another. All this shit, zero.
Wow.
We don't have
that. That's out of this world. Amazing, Bobby. Another thing, sorry to go so in depth. I think this is pretty interesting for the other audience here. You actually made a video about how you actually proposed to your wife, and I think some of our audience here would be quite pleasantly surprised how you actually did that, and I was quite surprised as well. So maybe you can tell us the whole story about the start and how you actually got into it. You know, how you actually proposed to her.
Okay, the proposing part wasn't something that is worth talking about lah, but it's how I got to doing it. It was I was returning a bright red color E-Class convertible to Mercedes-Benz. That time Mercedes-Benz was their office is in Menara Telecom. back then. And it was also the first media drive it was the second media drive that I joined Mercedes, and we won the photography competition during the media drive. And we were like sort of rewarded with 1 week, not 1 week, 4 or 5 days of usage of red Mercedes Cabriolet. That car wasn't a media car. They don't have a media car for convertibles because who registers a media car for cars that won't sell in big numbers, right? It doesn't justify it. So I drove that car. She was an air steward with Korean Air back then. I still remember her face when I picked her up in the car at the airport. Then I was returning the car to Mercedes-Benz, and back then we have no Grab, nothing, right? Every time after we return the car, the only thing we can do is to sit at the bus stop or taxi stand and wait for a taxi. That's the only thing we can do back then. So I was at a taxi stand and then waiting for a taxi, and then the taxi uncle picked me up. He was all I can remember. He is Sikh, Singh Indian taxi uncle. And I got out the car, for a while, and then I of course, we have some eye contact from his rear view mirror at times. Then he was like, "Young man," I was like, "Married?" And I was like, "Oh no, not married. Single?" No, not single. Got girlfriend. Oh, got girlfriend. Serious? Serious? Then he was like, "Then why are you not married?" Then I was like, "Hi, uncle, no money lah. How to get married?" Then he started already. He was like, "You Chinese boys, you Chinese fellas are really every day say no money, no money, no money." And then of course there was a bit like, "Of course, we need money to do this and that, blah blah blah." Then he was like, "Okay, I ask you, if you if you win the lottery, you win Toto today, and then you win ringgit 1,000,000, will you marry her?" Then I was like, "Of course, immediately I will marry her." "Okay, let's say you marry her, and then you all have children, then you do your own business, right?" I was like, "Yeah." And then he said, 5 years later, your business failed, and then you bankrupt. "Okay, you divorce her?" He asked, I was like, "No, I won't divorce her." Then he was like, "Will she divorce you when you have no money?" Then I was like, "Of course not. She's with me when I have no money." I said, "No, she won't." Then he was like, "Then what does that got to do with money?" Wow, I tell you, that was like a lightning strike down my brainway. That was like, my eyes was like, fuck, it has nothing to do with money. Shit. And then the next day I called the banks, check if my credit card has enough balance, because the time my credit card balance is only 5,000 ringgit.
Yeah.
5 or 6,000. So I checked whether I have enough balance. Then I went to Mid Valley and then bought a ring. Then during her birthday, went out for dinner and then I proposed to her.
Wow.
Yeah. That time we only got together for like 4 months that time.
And she said yes.
5 months. Yeah. She said yes. And I mean, later on I asked her back, she said she don't know how to react except yes. She said, if I say no, she said that if I say no, you feel very embarrassed, right? He said, yeah. So yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Nice. Thanks for actually sharing that, Bobby. I think a lot of people gives people a lot of perspective in terms of like when money can come and go. I talk to people about investments, people have a lot of money in this thing, that thing, but then in the end, a lot of times they forget about what are they passionate about, what do they feel for, what actually drives them, right? A lot of people they forget about this lah. So it's good to have someone like you to actually bring things into perspective, to align. And of course, Bobby, before we end the show, right, what kind of legacy would you like to leave behind when you're gone? What kind of things that you want to for people to actually remember about you later on when you actually pass on? Have you actually thought about it? And anything that in specific that you want people to remember you of?
Huh? Don't know. Uh,
Sorry, I throw a curveball because you say you up to
maybe
you.
maybe to those that hate me, I really never said those things that they say I say. I don't know, man. I yeah, never really think of that, man. Seriously,
If you were to like what kind of things would you want your, maybe if not people, right? Maybe your children, right? What kind of things would you like your children to remember you of?
my dad could have saved more money for me, but he went and buy cars. Okay, I mean the one thing I really want to do before I die is to pick up my kids and my wife to not work and not study for 1 year and drive from Malaysia all the way up Thailand, Vietnam, China, Korea, Russia, Kazakhstan, Belarus, Latvia, and all that, all the whole route to Europe, and then back from the southern part, like Greece, Turkey, then Iran, India, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and back to Malaysia. That is one thing I want to do. I really want to do.
I see.
Yeah.
I remember you mentioned that you wanted to do that in your Aston. Is that correct or not? Is that still in your plans?
I really want to do it in a V12 to celebrate the death of V12.
Yeah.
I hope I can do something like this. Drive is only for V12s or V10s, and then come on board, let's ruin our cars, and
Nice.
prove to people that, because a lot of people say, oh, you want to do this journey, you need to get a Prado, you need to get a Pajero, To me, it's like, who the hell doesn't know that a 4x4 can do this journey easily, right?
Correct.
And if people has done it with their Kanchils or AE86, whatnot, why not, right? So it's something I really want to try and do it. But then after owning the Rapid for a while, right, I realized one thing: the car is really reliable. Like my Germans go in and out of workshops, but my British is still there every day. I start it, run it every day. It's like there's no errors one. Like my Audi would have one like ding, then the BMW ding, then all this small little negative stuff, right? The Aston just starts and runs every single day. I mean, true enough, like what every owner said when I was doing my research, all of them said that, hey, we drive our cars to 200,000 km, 150,000 km. Astons are absolutely reliable, just like Porsches. So the problem would be it's not comfortable for long journeys. And I would prefer to do it in a convertible. I would prefer to do this journey in a convertible. Yeah. When we were in foreign landscapes, I want to drop the top and absorb everything in. Yeah, I want to absorb everything in. And this car doesn't allow it. And there's one car that could. It's called the Maserati Grand Cabrio. 4 proper adult seats in a convertible, and that would be great. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Bobby. Thanks for actually sharing all your insights. What I actually love about what you actually shared, right? It is more of the experience part. You're actually buying experiences. You're actually buying the process of actually going through life. Your life is not like your 9 to 5. Yours has a very, 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 very lows, very, very low lows, and you have very, very high highs, right? It is very unconventional, and the way that you think, the way it is very left field and very opinionated. And that's what I love about you, man, Bobby. Thanks for actually being on the show. And for our audience here, thank you so much for actually tuning in. We have Thomas, we have Con. Con actually said that he feels that Aston is a better bet than your Audi for this undertaking over over the continent. I would well agree with that as well. We have Avantio, we have Iqbal, we have James, we have Kevin, we have Matthew, we have Tana, we have Eugene, we have Chiang, Kok Yuan, Jennifer. Thanks for actually tuning in, guys. Really appreciate your time. Over the course of an hour plus, and being on the show. If you guys haven't
It's the
actually
shortest
subscribed to
live I've ever been.
Sorry,
Our live
is
usually
it
like 2.5
2
hours.
hours, right? Yeah. I'll
I
be
was like, oh,
tuning in
Henry.
as well. So yeah. Do check out Bobby's channel and also Aurizn. I think you do live on Aurizn as well. Oh yeah, the Facebook page, right?
Yeah,
So
we do.
yeah, so go like their Facebook page at Aurizn. You can actually type in AURIZN, Aurizn Malaysia. Go follow their Facebook page. Follow Bobby. Subscribe to Bobby's channel. If you haven't done so, Bobby has amazing reviews. I think so far you have like a few hundreds of videos, thousands of videos even on car reviews and
I
your
think
yeah.
it's just
and
that over the past 1 year, I pass all the review opportunities to my colleagues, and I slow down my output, and focus more on trying to grow my colleagues up.
All right, fantastic. HP actually says follow TikTok, follow FB, follow IG. Definitely, if you guys have IG, TikTok, follow Aurizn or Aurizn with an A. And yeah, with that, I would like to thank once again Bobby for actually being on the show. And also
Thank
I would
you,
like
thank
to
you.
leave everyone with a quote by Benjamin Franklin. Investment is always something that always pays off the best interest. Invest in yourself, invest in your team, and that will basically be your best decision ever. Right? With that, thank you so much, Bobby. Thank you to everyone who actually tuned in to our next session. Bye for now. See you guys.
Can I? Oh, okay. Bye bye.
Yeah. So
No,
yeah,
I just
sorry,
because
Bobby, you're saying? Yep.
You said a quote, right? So I was like,
Yeah.
there's a quote that I really love, and it's from Bruce McLaren and Soichiro Honda. Funnily, these two matches. Bruce McLaren said that life can never be measured in years alone, and Soichiro Honda also said something similar. He said, life can only be measured by how many times your soul has been deeply stirred. Yeah. So
Love it.
I live by that mantra, I think. Yeah.
Nice. All right. So really appreciate that, man, Bobby. Thanks for actually sharing that quote. I'll be actually writing that quote down in our comment section below later. So do say hi, do type it into the comments below. And once again, thanks Bobby. Thanks for actually being on the show. And we will see you in our next session. Bye guys. Take care.
All right. Bye.